watching Vail Today. I'm Tricia Swenson, and I have some very special guests with me right now. Dr. Fred Distelhorst, who is a retired orthodontist here in Vail. We also have Zach Meltz, who will be going into the 4th grade over in Vail Mountain School. But you guys have quite a bit in common. You both climbed Kilimanjaro just days apart from each other in July, and you're both known as one of the oldest and one of the youngest people to do so. Now, did you have any idea that this was happening?
No, I had no idea
Not until I got
that
off
we
the mountain.
were together, but it was great when I found out that this young guy was my buddy.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
All right, well, climbing Kilimanjaro, no easy feat, even though we do live in the mountains here in Vail. Fred, how did you get to do this? What happened?
Well, my granddaughter was already over there with Bondoni's shoulder-to-shoulder thing, and when that was over, she emailed me, said, Opie, that's German for grandpa, Opie, I just signed you up to climb Kilimanjaro. So I didn't have a lot of choice.
All right, yeah, your granddaughter said,
So
Opie, we're doing this.
we're doing it, that's right.
Okay, all right, Zach, how about you? How did you hear about this, and what made you go to Kilimanjaro?
My dad had just gotten an email from one of his friends who had done it 20 years ago and wanted to do it again with some of his friends and his sons. So my dad was already planning on hiking it. And then he asked me, Zach, you want to do Kilimanjaro? At first I thought it was a 14er, so I was like, yeah.
Okay, sure.
And I'd recently done some research on 7 summits, and then I realized
That it wasn't a 14er. How high was this mountain?
19,341.
Okay, oh wow, that's a lot of feet to climb. Now, what do you think was the hardest part, Fred?
Well, first, Dr. Yarberry counseled me before, because
Okay,
he does a lot of altitude sickness stuff. He said, Freddie, you got to take oxygen for the last climb. So I put that stuff on, and I'll tell you, there must have been more than oxygen in there, because there must have been some laughing gas or something, because I was ready to go to the moon after I put that on.
Okay,
And the hardest part was coming down, because we went in little 4 or 5 hour sections on the way up, but on the way down we went up 5,000 vertical, down 5,000 vertical, turned the oxygen back in, and then we went another 12 hours to get down, and that was the hardest part, was coming home.
Okay, now what was the hardest part for you, Zach?
Day 3, which was very long, and that's when I gave up my pack because we had lunch at 15,000.
Oh.
So it was kind of like a test.
Yeah.
So that day, because it was long, and then summit day.
Okay, those are the toughest ones. But one thing that kept you guys going was the support you had. You had some great guides that really kept an eye on you. You know, you being the oldest and you being so young, they wanted to make sure that you were going to be okay and that you'd make it.
Yeah, right. Well, they always put me behind the lead guide. And, most of it was just little small steps all the way. And then at night you had a light that you could see where the guy ahead of you stepped, and you just slow, slow, slow.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom, when you start out the first day, you see this mountain way up there, and you say, you mean we're going up there?
Yeah. Is that how you felt when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, I was flying by it in a little plane, and I saw this big rock wall. I was like, we're hiking that.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and
well,
congratulations, guys. Good to
Thank
have
you
you
so
today.
much. Enjoy
All
it.
right, Zach and Dr. Fred from Vail, Colorado.